Okay, I think it's been a week now since the official lockdown. And this morning is the first morning I woke up without a bunch of messages on my phone because what am I like? Oh God, there was a time change, I think, in the US. Maybe 8 hours ahead of West Coast time right now. Usually I'm 9 hours ahead. But oftentimes in nighttime, a lot of messages come, so I wake up to different messages from all over. And essentially, yep, just had one this morning from a dear friend who almost got caught in Spain heading back to New York. She, really in the nick of time, I guess, because the other planes start getting canceled. But she did make it, so that was good news. As you, I'm sure, have heard, now Spain has jumped into second place after Italy for the spread and the number of cases. There's so much information coming out from all angles that I have kept up with. Some of it is not just, there's a lot of this, which is, I think, why everyone is confused and can't tell if this is hysteria, can't tell if this is the truth or what's going on. But yeah, in the UK, it's been fairly shocking to me, the measures that have been taken. Not shocking in regards to who is in control right now, who would be an ally who's in control in the US. So that follows the same lines, the same storylines. But yeah, but anyways, and even in the States, trying to get an idea of which states are in lockdown, which ones aren't, hearing that maybe it's going to be the whole US. So it's going to get kind of obviously crazy and intense. I am at my friend's house right now, and some people wrote saying, "Oh, be careful! Don't go to jail. Don't get caught. Don't do stupid things." But I want to let you know that honestly, my friend is right by the closest supermarket, so it's like a 10-minute walk from where I am, and the fact that people are very, very respectful about what's going on here. However, how do I show you this? So you can see that there are people kind of gently being out and not getting in trouble. So I don't know, it's sort of the Italian way. Things are taken with a little bit more breath, I think, than sometimes in the States, where I think we tend to get more intense in general about things. What else is there to say? I think everyone is still sort of waiting, and it's pulsating, and after a few days, I think you hopefully will start going into kind of the zone of things. I understand that those of you with kids, it's a kind of a slightly different story. I know some people are doing homeschooling and doing groups online to do lessons, and other people are phoning in on a video to give lessons to the kids, which I think is a great idea. What else? What are the thoughts today? Oh, I guess some positive stuff. Oh, I do want to say is like, give yourself a couple of days to just fucking relax and don't worry. I mean, eat all those biscuits and candy and whatever chips that you need and just lie in bed and don't feel like you have to figure it all out right now in this moment, in this instant. Just let yourself sort of go into the zone. I think today I wanted to sort of talk about what could, like, positive things, because I think it's necessary. Some of you might already know this was happening, some weeks ago, like I mentioned, so I was sort of paying attention. And when things really closed down in China, and then once Italy hit the lockdown, it was sort of like, okay, also me too, I sort of went into more of an alert. And Chinese factories closed down, like loads and loads of them. And in a relatively short amount of time, so we're talking within like, a month 2 months, I want to say between 2 to 3 months, the pollution in China has gotten a lot better because these factories have closed. Same with here in Italy, in northern Italy. We actually have problems with bad air here, which I really understood a couple months ago uh, from a whole other story. But the air has cleared up here in these past, and even in a week of total lockdown. So let's say it's like been 2 or 3 weeks of genteel lockdown and 1 week of total lockdown, which is very telling. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in the future there can be some pauses on, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days a month or every 2 months, where there's just a sort of a form of a lockdown. I don't know. That was just one of the things that went through my head the other day. So those are actually positive things. I think that there's also this, it's easy to go into the panic and the fear of everything. And I know for a lot of people, it's really financial. That seems like the strongest point of stress for everyone, and not to dismiss that as being completely valid. But I think maybe as an exercise or something, you should write down what could possibly be good about all of this, about people coming together, communities coming together, helping each other out, that this is our now and it is our future, because this virus, it's only an indication of what's to come, and more like of these types of crises. And not to be like the apocalypse, but this is kind of our reality. And I think, well, at the same time, we have to try to get legislation changed and get in the right leaders. At the same time, we have to kind of take something into our own hands and what's actually in our control. Because as we keep seeing, we don't actually have a certain amount of control, even with trying to get proper leaders in place. And so we have to learn how to start taking care of ourselves and start taking care of each other. And maybe coming back to smaller entities, smaller communities, bring back, I think something that we always talk about that we want to slow down, to not buy from Amazon and quit buying these products, buy local. And then we get caught up because we get so busy. And also we say, oh, well, it's so much cheaper if I get this for, $1 instead of spending $7 over there. We're all culpable. And maybe there's something going on here that it's not going to not be scary, but also can make some, other changes, like how are we functioning inside this society? And so, yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to just imagine, like, as much as maybe your brain wants to go into the worst case scenario, is what if you also took a moment and let it go into like the deepest utopia? Just, what is unbelievable, what seems unfathomable, can happen both negatively and positively. So we can choose to consider these sorts of things and the bigger picture than the initial impact of the fear. So yeah, I think that we're in waves. It's like there's a death going on, and death comes in different waves, right? Of grief and denial and anger, acceptance, all these things. And that's what's happening here. There's going to be a lot of cycles and new thoughts, new ways of doing things. There's a way to find creative solutions. There's a way to keep banding together. There's a way to exist as best as we can. And I mean, I'd say myself, and so I'd say a lot of my peers would be around my generation, above and a bit below. We haven't been through a war. We haven't had to, bring ourselves in this way within our time. And yeah, so feel it, feel the fear, feel the pain, shake it out. Like, I really do highly suggest finding some form of a meditation on a video. Like, don't try to just go into like silence in your brain. Just go listen to something, find something even for 5 minutes. Let that be part of your practice. To just keep kind of coming inside. Okay. I am both thinking about this and everyone, and I do my meditations every day and really kind of put it there for the whole world. And at the same time, just slowly let yourself carve out what needs to be carved out right now.